We live yet, Jack?
Yes, we are.
Okay. This is an actually exciting class. We're going to look at some real exciting missionary ventures. And really, when you look through church history, when you go through, was it 1450, Gutenberg's printing press, 1570, the Protestant Reformation, the people literally said, we're going to go back to the Bible as the final authority. We're going to teach people that they're saved by faith in Christ's death and resurrection alone. So you got the book, you can print it cheaply, you have clipper ships that can take people around the world, you have the right message. Now, God is looking for people with a heart for missions. The book of Revelation is known as the church of the age of Philadelphia, the church of Philadelphia. And he says, I give to you an open door. We'll look at that a little later. So it's an open door for missions. And we're going to look at some of the missionary things that students looked at, and at the history of worldwide Protestant missions, where this message gets out to the rest of the world, not just Europe or the United States. And so it's an exciting time. You know, it took a long time to get there, as some of you have gone through history. Okay, the church really got lost along its way. It's hard to explain how it happened, but it did. The right message, and you know, mass transportation, the discovery of North and South America, renewed interest in trading with Asia. These are all places that missionaries can go now. So it's a great time in church history. Many thought that it would actually, a worldwide conversion to Christianity would usher in the millennial reign. It's not good eschatology, but worldwide missions were so successful we can see why people thought that would happen. And that's a wonderful thing. Okay. Father, bless each moment we have as we learn about this gospel making its way around the world. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And our first presenters, we've got Jack and Charlene. They're going to talk about a mission trip here, and we'll see what they got.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to pause when I need to, because this is just a movie. I got to hit the pause button, so we might have to go back a little bit, but bear with me, or with us, I should say. So, yeah. Okay.
This is our mission trip that we went on to South Africa. And beforehand, everything that we tried to do was blocked and the doors were always closed, so we could never book. What we wanted to book was to go to Zimbabwe, and there they had the African impoundment where the animals were. It was a safe haven for them. So we wanted to go there for 10 days, but the Lord had other plans. He decided that we weren't going directly there. It was a prayer between Pastor Shabelli and the rest of the mission in Greater Grace World Outreach that prayed us into a time slot that we didn't realize was happening. And this took a course of several months. It just didn't happen boom, boom, boom. Over quite a few months, we were constantly on the computer, constantly trying to figure out how can we get there at this particular time that we wanted to go. And nothing opened up. It was totally blocked all the way until we decided, okay, we're going to go in October. And when October came around, everything just opened up. And at that particular time, we figured, well, it's the conference. The Pretoria people were having their conference at that particular time. So we figured, why not go earlier and go to the conference? And then everything else opened up as we went. We got our stay at the impoundment in the camp in the hotel. It all just opened right up. So off we go, and when we got there, well, I'm gonna backtrack. Before we got there, we both got new cards to go. Credit cards, like. And so we had all new passwords, of which we thought we had up here. Didn't write it down. So when we got there and we went to check in, we couldn't put a down payment or put a credit card on there because we couldn't activate it.
We didn't, what happened was we found out through a period of about 10, 12 days that I had inverted my PIN when I activated the card from what I would normally use. So that's what everything was messed up.
You jumped the gun though, because all the time we were there, we only had the cash that we had transferred over. So we were walking to different places up the road, and that's where we had our dinner, and breakfast was at the hotel, but our money was really tied up. We were gonna go over and rent a car, go here, go there, go see the sights around there.
Yeah, and not be a burden to the Pretoria Church, but God had other plans for us.
Yep. God said, no money, all of that.
So this first slide that I stopped here at, Tshwane is the new name for Pretoria. There's also the city of Pretoria, and it's growing so rapidly, and it's the capital of South Africa. So they made a name change, and I think they started using it back in 2000. Well, we were there in 2011. So, but officially as of 2013, that was supposed to be their name change. So if you don't hear Pretoria as often, you're hearing Tshwane for South Africa, that's the reason why. It's just that it's growing so rapidly.
Next. What happened?
I don't know.
Was it working?
All right, let's go this way.
Glitches, computers. There we go.
And now you can see right here, they've already changed the church name. This is where the Pretoria Church meets. It's a Lutheran church, theological. They've got a great big church, but this building right here, they use for their seminary part. And you'll see pictures of the inside here.
Off over here, way over here, you can drive down further, and that's where they have like their Bible college classes and where they practice. Go ahead.
This is right out in the front. See?
This I found interesting, that when they won't stay on the banner. They put their banner up because it isn't their building. So they put their banner outside, and they did it 1 hour before church started. But they also took and had street evangelism. Anybody walking up and down those streets didn't get past without being approached. This is all done before church. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
And they have to do this every time that they go there. It's not up permanently. They can't leave it up. One of the interesting things too is you'll see the gate there and the fencing. Everything is security fencing around everything because of the big crime rates within all of South Africa, actually.
And you can see Pastor Shabelli is talking to a person that actually was walking on the sidewalk and got stopped. Quite a few of them got stopped. Go ahead. When you want it to progress further, it stops. This is it's not really a hut. Why is it doing that?
Because it's so sensitive.
Doesn't mind the song.
It does. Yeah.
Anyway, there was a building, but it had the thatch roof on the top. And it was very African-y, you know, with the thatch roof and that. But they also had like visitors' refrigerators while they were there. So you could put your stuff in there, but she said, be careful because people that are staying here don't know that that is yours. So you might come out there and find it gone. So it was a big risk. Yes. But this patio, well, if he gets to it, the patio that was off of the main structure was there was a lawn there, then they had the pool, and you could just, you know, sit out there. I think one afternoon we went out. Wow.
Hey, let her sing.
You're carrying, you need to,
Well, you haven't gotten to the building yet. For people to see, that's where we're at.
This is the Bible study, yes.
Right. And every morning after breakfast, this is where we go and have Bible study. You can see the refrigerator.
Pastor Shabelli is here,
Yep.
hiding behind his glasses.
And his following. Go ahead. This is,
This is, all right, you're gonna try using your point, the other one, the other end.
all right. There it is. Why isn't it showing up?
Hold on, I'm not pressing hard enough.
This here, this is Pastor Jabu, and this I don't like.
Try this one.
There you
This one, this person here is Yoko. He was the one who we interchanged, we talked with, emailed, and everything. So I always called him, I called him Yoko. His name is Yaku, isn't it?
Yeah, cool.
Yaku.
Yeah.
So I finally could put a name to a face. So I'm calling him Yoko. And he let me say that throughout most of the day until he finally corrected me and said it was Yaku. English, very English. But this is Pastor Jabu's home, and we're all there for a study, and he's cooking lunch.
This is
Spaghetti.
after a Sunday after church. Natasha Brown and
They were singing. She was from Cyprus.
Isabel?
Isabel.
I've seen her at conventions, yeah.
Yeah,
She's from Cyprus, yeah.
Cyprus. So we hit it off, her. I didn't really meet Natasha until much later on in our visit, and she kept popping up, and we knew Pastor Brown because while we were there, the guys would get together and try to figure out how we were to get money and access our account and all of this. So every day, the guys would be huddling, trying to figure it out. If this happened at home, I would have been very upset and very nervous. But over there, I just figured the Lord's will. I did not have that upsetness about me.
Mhm.
There you go. Thank you. This is, Naumapius is another area where we went every Sunday at 9 o'clock. Service started up there. That is a community of not so well off people. The slums of Africa, South Africa.
Actually, it was supposed to be an improvement from the slums. It was South African government's answer to this, to rebuilding the slums. We'll have pictures of that.
But they came down from Naumapius to Pretoria to put on a special performance for the conference. And that's their leader. This is, I don't need it.
There you go.
This is Isabel from Cyprus, and this is Natasha Brown, which is the sister to Pastor Brown. And they were doing practicing and doing a song for conference night. Just do the slide.
This is the next one. Just listen. Loud enough? When it goes to the words, you got
There's a
to the
famous
words.
missionary from America.
Yeah, the foreigners are there. You won't see Charlene because she's the one running the camera. Totally out of place. There we go. Well, I better catch up.
Their movements go where it means something to them. There's Pastor Jabu dancing and singing. Pastor Shabelli. This guy over there is Pastor Shumba.
That's Pastor.
This is Pastor Shumba. He was in charge of going out into, oh gee, I just lost the name of it. In Pretoria, Arcadia Park. And every morning at 10 o'clock we'd meet and go over to Arcadia Park and evangelize for 2 hours. And it was hot, very hot. Now where are we?
I think he was at our church one time, wasn't he?
Yes.
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 This is Naumapius in the things, the housing development. This actually did work at our house. It didn't do this.
There we go.
It stopped. The tent that's the tent that they had, and even though they have the sides up, it was hot, extremely hot.
If you look out over in this area, you'll see how wide open. This is like on top of a large hill, fairly flat, but still a little bit hill, a little lonely, like you would see in open fields around here.
I found this very interesting. In the developments, they do have water totally cold. So if they want warm water for washing up or doing dishes, This is how they heated their water.
This is actually the house next to where we just saw the tap. There's a little roadway parking area. You're gonna see a better look at it, but this is actually the house like right across the way from it, and this is how they heat up their water, because they don't have any hot water heaters. Now you'll notice this one up on top here, this is more modern. They have probably a solar panel that's circulating the water and heating it up. So now they have a storage area and have more hot water than, more for a shower, like that. They probably have showers. This other place probably doesn't even have a shower.
Now, Malmapias is like 25 miles from Pretoria. So you have to get up bright and early in the morning, which I'm not a morning person. Pastor Brown preaching at the conference.
Absolutely. Cry out for God. Cry for God.
Children from the development, as you see on a lot of different videos, they all clamor to you. They're curious, they want to know who you are, where you're coming from. They just wanted to be around you.
The government allows these people enough funds and building materials to build themselves what you see there. The houses, the standard house is probably 8 foot by maybe 15, 20 feet. And they have all the living facilities are built within there. There are some they add on as they get more money like that. But you also see there's a garden over here on the side of this building here. That is probably not a house itself. This is added on. You'll see fencing and things like this, so they've got plenty more than just one yard that the government would allow. And I never did find out about all those details, but that's basically what it is. Some are a lot larger than others. Again, this is a house. Oh, go back again. Now you see the tent set up here, and there's another house that was like in back of the tent. And then there's a roadway back here, and now you can see the building materials and stuff that's available to them. But they do have to purchase it, apparently. But the government gives them just enough to build the house. This is a single dwelling. It has a bedroom, kitchen facilities, and that's what it is. That's the original size that the government...
I don't know, I don't think we have a picture of the inside of this building, but you're talking 4 or 5 families in one building. And they have this little tiny bowl, which is their sink. They have a hot plate, which is what they cook on. And it's all one area. They had one room off the main room for a bedroom, and that was it. Very, very simplistic.
And you see this young lad here, I'm not even sure it's a lad, it might be a girl, but I walked up on top of this little knoll to take this picture, and this is where you see we drive in and park. There's a roadway just in back of me, and like that. But there'll probably be room for 15, 20 cars right there. When they come up from Pretoria, that's where whoever's driving, that's where they park. This is one of the really unique. It's unique in that it's a night service, which they usually do not have out there. And that was, again, this was a special time during the week of the conference. We met out there for an evening service.
I was there, obviously, but I don't remember the night service. I really don't. These aren't the greatest shots from our camera, though. It was a brand new camera. I hadn't gotten used to where everything was compared to one we used in church. This is the main group in Pretoria singing. And this is
Not that the one where he was speaking, not.
No,